Well, hello and welcome to episode 9 of Spirit Rebels. Woo, our podcast. Can you believe we have a podcast, Helen? A real life podcast?
No, I still can't believe it because it was always on my dream list, and now it's a reality. And like I can say, oh, I'm a podcaster.
You can. You can.
How mad is that?
And this is from the woman who, in the very first episode, told me she wasn't a very good manifester, and she's manifested herself something off her dream bucket list. So, dreams come true, dreams come true. And as always, I am Shelley, and this is lovely
Helen,
See, you
hello.
have to sing it, don't you? You just can't help but
Oh yeah,
sing
that
it.
is true. You did that last week, and I'm doing it this week. Oh my God, what are we like?
Well, this is episode 9, and today we are going deep in hidden beliefs. It's a big subject that is very, very close to my heart. I am just setting expectations that I will be putting Helen through her paces today. We'll set Helen's expectations. She's making some cringy faces.
Oh my
It's all good
God.
stuff, though. And I've got loads of good stuff that is going to help people to kind of, well, I guess, understand themselves a little bit better. Because you know what? We kind of float along on lots of different levels, and the deeper that we go, the more healing we can bring in, and the better the version of ourselves that we can actually be. But before all that, how has your week been, my darling?
Oh, all good, all good. But I'm actually more excited about my week to come, to be honest, because
Ooh,
do you remember I spoke about quite a few episodes ago, I was saying that I was doing these presentations and going around,
yes,
and that was another dream of mine.
yes,
Well, I've been asked to do another one, and I'm going off to present on Tuesday,
excellent.
and I'm really excited about it because, again, that's something I'm really passionate about. It's really good for my personal development, for my course that I'm studying, and the fact that like people are asking me to go and do this presentation, and they said, oh, how much do you charge? And I was like, well, nothing. I just do it because I'm passionate about it. So I think that might be something I need to change in the future if I'm going to keep doing this.
We need to go
But
back to that whole money thing episode that we did last week, and maybe
yeah,
re-go through all of that.
yeah.
Oh, there's so much I'm gonna pull out of you.
But I'm just excited for the opportunity. So yeah, so it's been a great last week, but my week to come, I'm very excited about. How about you, Shells? How's your week been?
It's been good, all go. I did take some time over the weekend to do something that's been on my mind. I've had cravings for minestrone soup, cravings for homemade minestrone soup. And I went and got all the ingredients this weekend. I thought, I'm going to take time and I'm going to cook and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm just going to be in the kitchen and just have a nice time and make this minestrone soup that I have been desperate to make. And I did. And well, it was all going well until I think I got a bit heavy-handed with the pasta, and I've gone back to it today and it's all soaked up all the water, and it's not soup, it's a pasta bake now.
Oh, well, you could look at it in a positive way. You had 2 meals for the price of one. You have minestrone
Absolutely.
soup one day, and
Yeah.
you had pasta bake the next. Win-win.
Absolutely win-win. And I've still got plenty left for my lunch tomorrow as well, so that's all good. So yeah, so my concerns this weekend has been over failing minestrone soup, but
So
never
are you
mind.
challenging your inner Delia, your inner Nigella? Who
Yeah.
are you?
I love a bit Nigella. I don't know. I'm not. See, Paul cooks most of our household meals because time-wise, I'm always on the school run and stuff, and he then finishes work at normally 4 o'clock-ish. So how's that key tea time prepping time at home? So he is normally the one who's in charge of making the tea. So it is funny, and you know what? So many people get this. When you've got, so we have 4 people living in our house. How they do it with more, I've no idea. And everyone likes different things, and they won't eat this, and they won't eat that, and they like it when it's this, and they like it when it's that, and it's all finding something that everyone likes is just a flipping nightmare. And the idea of thinking about what to make for freaking tea every night is probably one of the biggest stresses in my life, if I'm perfectly honest with you.
I know. It's something you need to plan out. You need to
Oh.
discuss it as a family at the weekend and have it agreed and planned for the whole week.
It's getting
And
it
that was when,
agreed.
well, you might have to just stick everything you all like in a hat and just say, we're pulling it out randomly, and some of us will be happy and others won't, but we've just got to eat it. Be grateful that there's food on the table.
And it doesn't help because I'm one of those people that go, oh yes, right, I'm going to do a roast chicken tomorrow. I've been saying this for the past 4 days. I'm going to do a roast chicken tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to do a roast chicken. It's going to be lovely. I'm very excited for it. And for 4 days in a row, I have forgotten to lift the chicken out of the frickin' freezer, and it has been sat in there like laughing at me probably. And then I went downstairs before and I was like, you know what, we'll have the chicken, no.
You need to set a reminder on your phone, Shelley.
Oh, I know. I think I have too many reminders in my brain. I feel like I should just be able to remember all this stuff, but you know, it just doesn't flip and happen. And then I think to myself, oh, I'll set a reminder, and then something else catches my attention, like a squirrel or whatever, and then I'm away over there thinking about something completely different, and then the whole chicken's just gone, and the idea of setting reminders is gone, and then I need to set a reminder to remind myself to set some reminders. And then before we know it, I'm just overwhelmed and stressed completely and can't even cope with life and have to run away.
Forget the chicken. The chicken's not happening today.
McDonald's drive-through. That's what's happening.
If you want chicken, it's only through a chicken burger at McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's the best chicken. Actually, they'll all probably go, yay, that's what we want.
Oh, they all would. They totally would. And I'll be like, oh, for God's sake.
Oh, bless you.
Anyway. So I just said before, we are going to be looking at hidden beliefs. Now, in the last episode, which was all money and abundance, we didn't just dip into hidden beliefs. We kind of really started the idea of hidden beliefs, because I started off saying that only 5% of our beliefs and who we are is conscious. And the other 95% is, I likened it to the iceberg, and it's the giant, great big bit underneath the water. Because I guess the question is why? Why do we need to know what we believe? Why do we need to address hidden beliefs? What are these hidden beliefs all about? Why are they important? And I guess the answer is that if you want to feel good and if you want to manifest stuff into your life, then you need to look at those hidden beliefs, clear them up, heal them, remove them, change them, whatever it is, so that you are able to feel good and manifest stuff into life, because this is the shit that stops us from being who we want to be. When we talk about manifestation, and which we've done an awful lot, because I just love this stuff. There's two sections to it, 2 levels, if you like, and we're all very good at the first level, which is the asking bit. As you said in the last episode, having little notes left lying around, writing on money, doing them universe checks, all that sort of stuff. We do vision boards. There's loads of different things that we do that shows us I am willing and ready to manifest. I am attracting good stuff into my life. So we do that bit. And every time we put something out, be it money, be it a relationship, be it an experience, an opportunity, a job, shoes, holiday, whatever it is, health, the universe says yes. The universe says yes all the time. And when we did the manifestation episode, we looked at this, because the universe says yes. It then puts everything in this great magical manifestation warehouse of ours. It's in the sky or wherever you want it to be. And it sits there until we can align with it and we are receptive to it. And this is where the second level of manifestation and the stuff that we're not very good at doing comes into being. So we're good at asking for it, but we're not very good at receiving it. And we're not very good at receiving it because it's our limiting hidden beliefs, some of which are very toxic, actually, that sit underneath the surface of the water in this iceberg that we are, that is stopping us, because its message, its vibration is louder than our conscious vibration. So we can consciously know and think in our heads, I'm worthy of feeling good today. I'm worthy of perfect health. I believe that any health problem can be healed. I believe that I can attract money. I believe that I am deserving of a perfect, supportive, loving relationship. I can get a new job. I can buy the most perfect house. I can manifest anything I want. But then if the little big voice that's sitting underneath the water in the iceberg is telling us, lots of lies because of these limiting beliefs that we are carrying, which is these background computer programs that are running that we've picked up, then we can't. We are just literally big bubbles of resistance. And the worst of it is that the majority of the time we're unaware that they are there because they are invisible. And we don't like to look below the surface, because if we do, we've got to start addressing things and changing things. And that isn't always easy or pleasant to do. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. And it's definitely difficult to do. Definitely. So how are you going to be putting me through my paces today, Shelley? Because I'm actually quite scared.
Well, there's loads of different ways that we can work out, because you need to work out what your hidden beliefs are to be able to fix them, sort them. The way that I do it, I use the different theta healing techniques, which is all to do with brainwaves and things like that. I'll not get into the scienciness of it, but we have to dig up a situation, and then we look to the possible beliefs that you might be carrying that are potentially holding you back. Now, what I'm going to say is that often people get a bit shirty about this kind of thing. When we start to identify hidden beliefs, it can make people feel a bit rubbish about themselves. Oh my God, I'm useless. This is awful, blah, blah, blah. And people could take it as a bit of a criticism. And I do not mean it in any way, shape, or form like that. I have so many hidden beliefs that I am constantly working on. And hidden beliefs are little bastards, because they get in there decades and decades ago. They worm their way in. They stay there. They, you know, set up home. They've got little camps in all our cells and all our organs and everything else. And it's really hard to like evict them. So, you know, it's not something that, yes, we can go through these practices and get rid of them, but if our mindset is not particularly where we want it to be, we can attract them back in. I guess it's like someone who smokes. You can go and you can take the cigarette out of their hand, you can take their pack of cigarettes and throw them in the bin, but they can go to the shop and buy new ones. You know, there's nothing stopping them from going and getting more, which is the same with us. We can do these sessions and get rid of hidden beliefs, identify them, work on them, clean them up. But we then have to continue with a bit of determination and commitment to make sure they stay gone. We don't just go back to the shop and buy some more, effectively. So, do you have an area or an aspect of your life that you would like to change and it's just not working?
Well, it's an obvious one to my friends and people that know me, and you all know this, Shelley, and I don't want to sound like a broken record because I think I have discussed it in every episode, but my love life, because it is literally a shit show.
Okay. Well, first things first, by saying your love life is a shit show, what do you think you are reaffirming?
That my love life is a shit show.
There we go. There we go.
I just want to have that one person. I want my person. I see you happy. I see all my friends happy. I'm not saying that it's not easy. I'm not saying that all their marriages have been, you know, blooming champagne cocktails and roses. You know, life is not like that. But I just really believe in love. I love love, and I want my love. I want my person, the person that's going to have my back, be my biggest champion, and I'm just not giving up on it. It's just don't seem to be getting very far with it.
Okay, so this is turning into full blown. This is a Shelley Magic session now. This is what this is. So consciously, do you or can you think of anything that is stopping that from appearing in your life? The answer may be no. I mean, it depends if you can actually think of stuff.
No, yeah, I do. I think I suppose I've had 3 true loves in my life. My very first boyfriend, and then obviously my ex-husband, and then obviously the long-term relationship where it eventually turned violent and controlling. And I think my hang-up is around that, because I just loved that person so deeply. And then I think, how could it have all got to how it got to? And why am I still thinking about that person and not able to fully move on? And I think that's probably my blocker, because although I keep telling myself, yeah, I'm fine and everything's great and I'm ready to meet someone new, I still do think probably I have got a block there from that previous relationship.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense, because each of our relationships and, well, experiences in life either form new beliefs or reinforce old beliefs that we have. So are you ready to dig in?
Oh God. Oh my God. Okay.
So we're going to do a little technique that is, it's part of, I do believe they use it in kinesiology, but we use it in theta healing as well. And this is very clever because we can ask questions of ourselves, and this technique bypasses our conscious brain and just asks the beliefs that we hold in the cells in our body. So I might say to you, Helen, do you believe that you are worthy and deserving of a beautiful, perfect, loving relationship? And your head will go, yes, I do. I'm a nice person. I deserve this. But if that lower part of your iceberg doesn't believe it, this is what we're going to tap into now, okay?
Oh God, okay.
So I'm gonna kind of explain this as we're doing it, because you guys aren't going to be able to see on camera what is actually happening. So Helen, I need you to stand up first of all. I'm going to stand up. I'll do this with you, okay? Stand
Okay,
up.
I hope my headphones. We can't now see each other's heads. This is hilarious.
So we're going to start. I hope I'm not too far away from my microphone. We're going to start.
No, I can hear you.
I want you to imagine that you've got a zip, and the zip goes all the way from your lady garden right the way to the top of your head. So you're going to physically get a hold of this zip and zip yourself all the way up to the top of your head. There we go. I'm going to sit down now so that I can talk into the microphone. What that does is it just brings all your energy together, brings the whole of you back into one place. Now, what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to ask your body, your cells, some questions. But first we have to calibrate. Sounds a bit scientific, but it means we have to just get your body on board with what we're doing. So in a moment or two, I want you to say out loud, show me yes. And when you do, your body is going to lean forward. You're not going to do it. You will just feel your body leaning forward. So out loud, show me yes.
Show me yes. It's doing it.
Yeah, it's doing it.
Holy crap.
Okay, bring yourself back to center.
Okay.
And then out loud, you're going to say, show me no, and you're going to find it goes the other way. You're going to go backwards.
Show me no. Are you sure I'm not just telling my body this? Because it is working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can ask it some more questions that you know the answer to, but your body's calibrated, your cells are talking to us. So we're just going to go in there. Okay. I want you to say, and we don't really ask questions, we say them as positive statements and see what our body actually says. So first thing I want you to say it out loud is, I am lovable.
I am lovable.
And then we'll see which way your body goes.
Oh my God. Can I just say it's gone forward, but it rocked back and forth like it was thinking.
Like, am I? I don't know. I don't know. Well, the thing is, we also have these, gosh, this is like a massive course in itself, but our beliefs sit on different levels. And sometimes we can have conflicting beliefs inside of us. So part of us thinks that we are lovable, then the other part of us thinks that we aren't. So you'll rock a little bit before you'll actually come to the majority decision. Okay.
Can you actually see which way I'm going, or do you want me to tell? Because I obviously can feel
you
it.
tell, and then you can tell the listeners as well. So the next statement, so we'll say you've come to a conclusion of yes for that, but there was a bit of a thinking process that went on before, so it's not 100% in there. So the next phrase I'd like you to try is, it is possible for me, or no, I know, my perfect partner exists.
My perfect partner exists. Okay, I've gone forward.
That was a definite forward. Okay, so you believe your perfect partner exists. Next one. I am worthy of my perfect partner.
I am worthy of my perfect partner. Okay, I've gone back straight away.
You've gone backwards. There we go. Have a little sit down for me, my darling.
Okay, so I've got issues around feeling worthy then.
Yeah. Ooh. And that in itself opens you up now to a whole new kind of corridor of things to look at and heal. So you believe that your perfect partner does exist. They're out there somewhere. You believe that you are lovable, so it's, possible for someone to love you. However, you don't believe that you are worthy of this perfect person that exists. How does that make you feel in there?
It makes me feel sad that
Yeah.
my inner deep self feels that way. But I do think that correlates to that relationship that I came out with of, and how long, because for such a long time I felt so unworthy in that relationship. I think I've underestimated how much damage that did for so long. Bearing in mind we were together 5 years. So if that was happening for 5 years, it's a long time, isn't it?
A long time. And, you know, I guess beliefs are a little bit like habits. When they form, we don't just because we are removed out of that physical situation doesn't mean that the belief gets removed out of us as well. And it's, you know, I guess it's when someone tells you something every day for 5 years, and even if, you know, it only started 2.5 years in, if someone were to tell you something every day for 2.5 years, how long before you start to actually believe it's a truth rather than just their opinion or something that they are using to hurt you? And this stuff, as I say, we can take ourselves out of the situation, but the scars, think of them as scars on your inner self. They don't just wash off.
No.
They come with us. And then, you know, and they don't just sit as little scars that we can ignore. They work underneath to keep us safe, because these beliefs that we've got, that on a conscious level we can look at and say they are limiting what I do with my future and how life unfolds in front of me. But actually they're trying to keep us safe. So your inner belief that says you're not worthy is actually stopping you from being in another relationship that could potentially hurt you as much as the previous one did. Now, again, logically, we come back to the idea of, well, you know, I'm not going to go for that kind of person again. Or could it happen again? Should it, you know, everything's different now. And I'm wondering, and what I'm feeling from you, if you don't mind me going into it, is this idea of, I'll be different this time.
That is so true. That is so true.
And when you carry this idea of, I'll be different this time, what it's sending through me right now, and I'm digging, this is proper session stuff here because I'm using university stuff now as well, is that actually what's sitting beneath the worthiness belief is an idea that you were the cause of the violence and the mistreatment in that past relationship. Because if this thought of, I'll be different in my next one, is sitting within you, then it means that you are blaming yourself. If you'd been different in your past relationship, you would not have caused him to react the way that he did.
Yeah, and I used to have that debate with myself all the time. And also he used to tell me that the only reason I've done this is because you've done that. If you hadn't have done that, this wouldn't have happened. That was a regular occurrence in the latter part of the relationship. It wasn't like that at the start so much. And
So
then, like you say, it grows then, doesn't it? That
Yeah.
belief inside you.
And then as we live our lives, even though we're physically out of that situation, we then live our lives. And if we're carrying that vibration, we are going to attract more situations to ourselves that will reinforce that belief, because what your inner Helen is trying to do is to keep you from ever experiencing that sort of pain all over again. So if in some ways that inner subconscious, you know, unaware Helen is saying, you know, it's better to just not have a relationship at all than put myself at risk of this bit pain all over again. So the belief, we uncovered a belief that you believe that you're not worthy of a relationship. But actually, when I've used my spidey senses and gone a little bit deeper into that, it's not necessarily about being worthy of it, because you're carrying a belief that you cause people to react negatively to you. Therefore, if you do get into a relationship, you're going to cause yourself pain and harm, because you are going to make your new partner behave as your old partner did. We are getting very deep. Are you okay, my love? I know we're going.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm really passionate about speaking about these things. And so, you know, I'd rather we went through this so that people could hear it, if it maybe helps somebody else. But, you know, another twist on that, Shelley, is that I've had, I would say, a couple of dalliances with people that I've been starting to get to know.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happened there is they've gone quiet, had a load of shit to deal with, thought they were ready to get into relationships or whatever, and then weren't. And I've taken that as a huge rejection as well, because although it's a different scenario, I think that's led me to feel unworthy, because I'm like, hang on a minute, you were wanting a relationship. I've sort of started to give myself to you, and now you've just gone quiet because you've got your own problems to deal with and you've shut down on me. So it's brought a different feeling of unworthiness out. I don't know what type of unworthiness that is. I suppose just is anybody going to love me type of unworthiness, because why do they then come into my life? They seemingly want something and then they go quiet and go off. Again, is it something I've done? Is it something I'm doing? Am I the problem?
Well, if you work on like deep levels of law of attraction, we are always the problem. I don't think that's in a bad way though at all.
Oh God.
And on a personal level, I don't see you as a problem at all, my love. You're a beautiful human being. But why don't you stand up and ask?
Oh God. All right, I'm going back up. Do I need to zip myself back up again to recalibrate?
Do the zip again. You don't have to do the yeses and nos, but do the zip again.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe start with a statement like, when someone rejects me, it is because I am the problem.
When someone rejects me, it is because I am the problem. Gone forward.
You've gone forward. Okay, sit down, darling.
Oh. Every
Right.
time I sit down, I pull my mic. I'm sorry if you get a bit of banging. It's because I've got headphones in.
Can I just say, what you've just done there is to check your belief. You're not checking a reality. All right.
Okay.
So you have not just been told that if someone rejects you, it's because you are the problem. You've just been told that if someone rejects you, you are believing you are the problem. You are not the problem, my love, but you are carrying the belief that you are always the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not a nice feeling or place to be in at all. But the deeper we go with this and the more of these beliefs that we can kind of illuminate and shed light on, the more healing we can do and you can get rid of them. So rather than just having a temporary fix on things, this is deep, permanent, long-lasting healing that we are doing now. And for the listeners at home, I'm not just putting Helen, I said I was going to put Helen through her paces. I wasn't necessarily expecting that it would be this deep and sensitive. We might need some trigger warnings. But yeah, so what I want to do now is just check in with you, because we've just uncovered some really big limiting and quite toxic beliefs that you are carrying that are telling you that you are not worthy of your perfect partner, and that if anybody rejects you, it's nothing to do with them or what's going on in their life. It's because you are the problem. And you said before, when I asked how you were feeling, you said that was making you feel sad, and I'm getting feelings through from you that there's a little bit of you wants to just shut this down completely and run away right now because you don't want to deal with it. But I think overall there's a sense of, I guess the message I'm getting from you is, I knew the shit was in here. I just wasn't expecting to come face to face with it today.
Bloody hell. I mean, you are right. And as I say, guys, if you want a reading from Shelley, you must have one. She's very accurate. Like I say, she's done readings for me and she's been very accurate. Oh, you are right. You are absolutely right. I didn't want to have to deal with it. But equally, every episode, I think I've talked about love and wanting to find love. So unless I deal with this shit, am I ever going to get it, attract it into my life? I'm really want that special person, but I am very scared about dealing with these inner beliefs. I am frightened. I'm frightened, and I feel sad.
Yeah. And you will, and it will bring up feelings of sadness and fear when you first start digging into it, because you feel out of control and you feel like you feel damaged is what I'm picking up from you. But you're not. You've just had some experiences. That is what it is. Good stuff, bad stuff.
I would have got over it by now.
Why?
Like,
why?
I don't know. I know we talked about this before, but like we're over 2 years down the line now, and I'm still not over it. And then I'm jealous, but in a nice jealous, not in a bitter jealous, but I'm jealous of like your relationship, all my friends, wonderful relationships. And like I say, I know they're not easy, but it's like, do you know, I tell you what the other, this is, I think my true hidden belief, I do know deep down, and I just don't want to admit it. So my dad left when I was 7 and my brother was 5. Back in the day, there was only 2 families in primary school that had single parents. We were one, and there was another family. And now it's very, very common. My daughter herself is from a broken home, if you want to term it as that, which I absolutely hate.
I hate that too.
Oh, it's hideous, isn't it?
Awful.
Because Ernie and I parent really well together, just not together. You know, he's remarried. I love his wife. I think she's a great influence for my daughter. So, you know, in terms of all of that, we couldn't be better. I carry a lot of issues around, I don't want to be like my mum and dad, because my mum and dad all these years on still don't speak. And I also, my mum chose not to, she had some relationships but nothing serious, because she pumped everything into us kids. My dad went off, got married very quickly, and for quite a few years was in and out of our life, and I see that as abandonment. So I carry a lot of daddy issues, which I'm sure is very common for many people. And so I carry issues around the fact that the one person that's supposed to love you, like your dad, you know, that dad-daughter relationship, he fucked off and is in and out. So I carry a lot of anger and issues around that. And then the other side of it is I don't want to be like my mum, who's actually exceptionally happy and living her best life. But I feel like, but you're doing that with your friends and everything else, and not with that person. And I want to be the opposite of have that person. So I have this fear, oh my God, am I going to turn into a woman that lives on her own and doesn't have that person? And I think the two things that underplay ultimately all of this. And then it's just happened that I've had a few crappy relationships along the way. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. And there's so much because of those things that you're saying. You know, it's funny, isn't it? When we start the healing process, it's like peeling back onion layers. It really is. You peel back one layer, have a revelation, that leads you to think about this, then that leads you to think about that, then another truth pops up, then another one. And before we know it, we're in the middle of this onion that's making our eyes cry wildly. But it's about taking the stuff, and it's so difficult to make realizations about ourselves like this and who we really are, and not get stuck in it, because it can start to own you a little bit. And what we have to do is we've got to kind of take a step back and look at it objectively and go, okay, well, and it's not even I have these issues, it's these issues, these experiences, these beliefs are affecting me. It's a bit like, you know, if you see them as like, you know, do you call them splinters or spelks? I mean, I'm a spelk girl. Are you a
I would say splinter.
Splinter, and she's posh. I'm a spelk.
Shut up.
Okay, so imagine your hidden beliefs are like splinters. So I did that on purpose. Did you see?
Yeah.
So imagine, so if you carry in, say, 6 different hidden beliefs that are all kind of rooted in the same theme, so to speak, they're all in your finger, all poked in, maybe half a centimeter square, and all these splinters are all sticking in your finger. If you don't pull them out, what's going to happen?
I'm just going to get buried deeper and deeper and probably get infected.
Yeah, you're going to start stinking, and you're going to have green pus oozing out your finger, which is essentially what is happening to you on an emotional level, an energetic level, but you can't see it because it's all inside. It hurts to pull these splinters out because you've got to poke in some squishy stuff that's really sore, but you know it's in your best interest to get it out, because once they're out, you can just give it a clean up, give a little kiss, make it feel better, and then over the next day or so it will heal and your finger will be fully functional again. But all these,
I just feel sad, Charles, because I just feel like I just want to be loved. Do you know what I mean? Even though I know I am loved by friends and family, just want to be loved.
Okay, well, tell me why someone would stay with you.
Why they'd stay with me? Because I'm loving and honest and loyal and caring and dedicated and supportive and lots of other things.
Why is that not good enough?
I don't know. I'm also hard work. I have OCD. I like things in a certain way. I turn the door handles like 3 or 6 times before I leave the house. It drives people potty. So maybe it's just too much hassle. And I'm needy. My brother always says it. He says, you're needy, you're needy. And I do. I want affirmation. That's my love language. Affirmation and touch, you know.
What's wrong with that?
It's hard work, maybe. Somebody would see that as, oh God, I've got to tell her I love her again. You know, why does she need me to tell her I love her? Because it's just words. It should be me showing her. And I do pin a lot on words, and you know, and I know that actually I should look at the actions more than the words. And that was the problem. The violent ex gave me the words, but his actions were completely different.
So really, you know, twice, there's two things here. So you've used the phrase hard work twice now. So we are starting to reveal another limiting belief, that you believe that you are hard work to be with. And that then leads to thoughts of, well, if you're hard work, no one wants to be with someone who's hard work. The second thing is the fact that I am now starting to wonder if you... So when you are looking at this version of your perfect partner floating around out there in the ether, let's just say for now, have you actually considered adding to your list of qualities that you want? Because you want someone who's loyal and caring and kind and blah, 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 honest, all that. Have you thought of adding to that list someone who likes people with OCD?
No, I've never thought of that.
What about adding to your list someone who shares the same love language as you, or is open to adapting their love language to meet your needs?
Yeah, I've never, because I write lists of what I'm looking for, and I've never interestingly put those things down. I've put all the attributes I'm looking for in them, but I haven't put like gone to that level where I've said somebody that could be sympathetic to OCD and somebody that, you know,
Someone who thinks OCD is cute, someone who looks at you every time you do the door handle thing and goes, oh my God, she's lush.
I've never had anybody do that. That would be so lovely.
Yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yet. But you're not asking for them. You're asking for
No.
Mr. Perfect and thinking, actually, I'll change me to please Mr. Perfect. When actually, Mr. Perfect would be perfect for you as you are right now.
Well, I've done that in every relationship I've ever had, changed myself or sacrificed myself to make them happy, because seeing them happy makes me happy.
But is it genuine?
I do it genuinely, but I think what I'm doing then the whole time is ignoring my core, as it were, and my needs.
So really the person that you want to be manifesting, attracting, asking for, envisaging, you know, whatever, is someone who loves, not just someone who is loving and supportive and everything else, someone who, so my Mr. Perfect will love authentic me.
Yeah. I thought I'd get through this whole series without crying, Shelley. You cried on body image and I'm crying today. And I know it doesn't sound like I'm crying because I'm not like gonna be a big
she's an eye rubber, not a sobber.
But I'm an eye rubber. Yeah. Oh.
How are you feeling now?
Bloody exhausted. I feel exhausted, but ironically, I feel a little bit awakened and a bit like a weight's off my shoulders, that I'm coming to a bit of a realization. I think it's a bit of an infinity moment. Does that make sense? Probably stuff I've just know deep down, but I've just been choosing to ignore or don't want to accept or don't want to have to think about, and just go, yeah, that's not an issue.
But just looking at them, you know, just looking at them, just acknowledging them, that is the start of the healing process. Sometimes just to go, oh God, I got that. That is enough to just help it move on, move up and out. So when it comes to manifesting that partner for you, actually, you've been trying to manifest someone who's not the right person for you. And he might have come, and he probably has come in several different guises, but because he's not been the right one for you, for one reason or another, he's gone away again. Because your perfect partner loves all the weird little shitty things that you do.
Oh,
You know, loves the door handle thing and the worrying and the overthinking and um
yeah.
the money notes on things and the messages on the fridge and the dress collection and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else. That you're
Oh,
perfect. You've been asking for someone who is on paper perfect, but they're not perfect for you.
no, I
So
think
why on earth would you let yourself attract someone who isn't perfect for you? And this whole idea about, well, I tell you what, if I attract Mr. Perfect, I'll just change to be good enough for him, when actually that is denying the fact that you are good enough right now with all your quirks and your weird things. And I'm saying this knowing full well I have just as many quirks and weird things. So it's not a criticism. Ask Paul, I swear
no,
to God, it is not a criticism in any way, shape, or form.
everybody
I
has
think, yeah,
quirks.
and I think this is the magic stuff that makes us who we are. And you're asking for someone, it's almost like you've got a bit of a belief going on in there that you need to be some sort of like, and you'll laugh at this because you know it's not true, but there's an idea in there you have to be some sort of Stepford wife, and Mr. Perfect will come along, therefore you will be perfect for him, but that's not taking into account if he will actually be perfect for you.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
redefining your idea of who Mr. Perfect is. And Mr. Perfect for you is someone who can, not
mm,
just cope with and adapt to your quote quirks and the little things that you do, but someone who genuinely loves you because of those things.
mm,
I'm a big reader, and there's men out there that would like lose their shit over the amount of books that I buy, the amount of time I spend reading, whatever. Um, Paul thinks it's great. He loves it. He thinks it's cute. He encourages me to do it. And that's why he's perfect for me. There's
yeah.
girls out there that would lose their shit over how much time he puts into his D&D stuff, how he's constantly thinking about other Dungeons and Dragons storylines and what that character would do and how that plot's going to unfold. But I love that about him because I just do. I just love that that's part of who he is. Therefore, I am perfect for him. Does that make
It
sense?
does make sense. And it also makes sense of why my relationships have been such a shit show. And like the long term one I was talking about, the really difficult one,
Yeah.
I compromised on so much for that relationship. For example, I love musical theatre. Well, I love any theatre. I love going to shows. He
Me
never
too.
once would come to a show with me because he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yet I was going off and getting him tickets for Silverstone to see MotoGP because that's what he was passionate about. And I would take him and I would go with him.
And do
And
you like that?
I was never into it. I mean, I enjoyed it when I went with him because I'm one of those people where I'll throw myself in 100%. I'll give it my best.
And
But
you'll get
that's
enjoyment because he's getting enjoyment
yeah,
out of it.
but
Yeah.
that's not my true passion. Yeah, he wouldn't go to one bloody show with me or even consider that. And I think I then start to build resentment up because I think, why do I always keep giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing and I get nothing in return? But then that over time can become quite bitter because when you then start to get to know somebody new, the first sign you see that there's maybe no compromise, then that inner sort of dragon Helen starts to come out then where those it raises those emotions again. So I think,
Yeah.
oh great, you're not going to compromise, you're not going to do anything. It might not be that, but I'm not necessarily then maybe giving them the chance. And yeah, really interesting. Oh God, Shells, you're so good at this. You know what? You should start a business. I'm only joking because she has a business. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I quit my day job. So tell me how you, if you just close your eyes and just take a moment now, because we've poked on some really deep sore spots in there. But what I'm hoping and what I normally see in my sessions is that when we poke on the sore spots, it lets go of some stuff. It
Mm.
releases some of that icky feeling and stuff that you carry around that you don't even know you're carrying it. It's like walking around with a bag of poo all the time. We're not
So when I go to
noticing it's there.
Tesco next, I'm not going to be walking up the aisle with my trolley just crying. Is that what you're saying? I won't be like
I'm
walking up
hoping
the
not.
aisles just trying to put a chicken in because you'll have me thinking about chicken, crying my eyes out, and then somebody goes, "Are you all right, love?" And no, I've just had a big release.
But he may be your Mr. Perfect, who you have just manifested into your life because you've let go of some shit and made room for him.
That is a good point.
Maybe you need to go and cry in the Chicken Island Tesco's and see if anyone comes along and gives you their number.
Could you imagine telling that story later in life about meeting over a chicken crying in Tesco's? Oh my God.
But then you would have evidence that he's quite okay with your emotional side. So, you know.
Yeah, true. Right. So you want me to taking us back. I'm sorry, I took us off a tangent. You want me
Do
to
not apologize.
Talk, what did you say? To how did I feel
melted
now?
Everyone. Yeah.
I'm gone.
Just take a moment to close your eyes and just take a deep breath. So we've hit on some pretty big stuff. We've brought some very deep and personal and intense feelings and beliefs to the surface to be looked at. We've looked at them. We've also explained them out a little bit and dug into them a little bit. And doing so is helping them to move up out of your energy, to move away from you and get out the way so you can be the person that you came here to be, without having to compromise or change yourself too much for a partner. We've also looked at the fact that you have been asking for someone who is not good for you. And we have now redefined what perfect might look to you. Someone who enjoys and loves your quirks and uniqueness, rather than those things being something that you have to squish down and hide in order to keep hold and earn somebody's affection and attention and love. You've learned a lot about yourself today. How does that feel?
You know what? I do feel, and this is genuine, listeners, okay? The genuine. I feel a sense of release. Like, I still have a pressure in my heart. Well, they're like around here. So I feel like it's hot, but it's not a bad pressure. It's just like you just want to just take some deep breaths pressure, you know? I do, yeah, I feel like I've maybe undone a padlock or two.
Ooh, I love that.
I can actually visualize. I'm
that.
visualizing a chest, and it had lots of padlocks on it, and it's still got one or two padlocks on it. But some of those, you know, like when you see giant big padlocks on like a treasure chest, like a couple of those are now open on the top, unlocked.
Excellent.
But there's still a couple of little ones holding it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect. One lock at a time. You can't do them all at once. That's big. That's big work. Big work.
Yeah.
You know, just baby steps. Baby steps.
I can't tell you how grateful I am. I mean, I'm so blessed I have you in my life anyway, as my dear friend. Then the fact that this is what you do as well, you know, and I just hope anybody listening today, I hope we will, well, when I say we, Shells will put a trigger warning on, because she does all the editing. She's the queen of that. I hope it hasn't upset anybody, but equally, if anybody's like me and has these similar things, I hope this has helped you, because and that's not to say I'm fixed. I got a long way to go.
There's, you know what is, there's no such thing as fixed. We just don't get fixed. You don't get that, no.
But it's nice to have a bit of a realization, and I completely hadn't thought about the fact that I've been probably trying to manifest the wrong person into my life all this time.
So when you think about Mr. Future Potential Perfect, does he feel, you know, different to you now? That image or the vision or the energy of Mr. Perfect in the future, does he feel different from the person who you might have been thinking about as a, you know, not because it's an actual person at the moment, like specifically, but when you think about someone you could potentially spend your life with now, is his energy different? Does he feel different to you? Is he less scary to you than the person you maybe thought about this morning or yesterday?
Yeah, because I've always been sort of attracting, or in my head thinking I've been needed to attract somebody physically strong, physically, in some respects, overpowering, because I think I was still in that previous relationship. But actually, I'm feeling a lot more, a sense of lightness, a sense of softness, a sense of a real caring, a real nurturing. And I think that's what I really need and want. And I've been attributing it to something else, like physical strength. Actually, that's not necessarily what I need or want at all. I need something deeper. I need a strong heart, a strong soul, and that's what I need. That's strong. I don't need necessarily massive biceps.
No. That is probably linked in with the dad stuff, if I'm honest, because when you're little, a dad is someone who's big and strong and can pick you up and fling you around and whatnot. So that's probably linked in with the dad stuff, the strength, the physical strength thing. When I split up with my ex-husband, who was the kind of person that he couldn't handle my weirdness and everything. It was just weird to him. And, you know, to him, I lived in cloud cuckoo land. I daydreamed. I was told frequently that, you know, I'm lost in a Disney movie. I'm looking for, you know, a fairy tale that doesn't exist, blah, 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 blah. And after me and him split, someone sent me something, or I seen it somewhere, and it was a meme thing. And it said, if the person that you're with cannot handle you, you need to look for someone with bigger hands. And I love that. It's not about you making yourself smaller to fit into someone else's hands. You just go find someone with bigger hands. And it doesn't mean on a physical level. Obviously, you don't want someone with like huge, massive, big hands. I mean, unless they are.
I actually find big hands attractive, so I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, but you've got big boobs. That's why you need big hands.
Oh, I'm glad we're ending this session on some laughter and not just tears.
But yeah, so it's not about you changing. It's about changing the person that you're looking for to someone who has bigger hands, who can wrap those hands around you and every part of you, all your weirdness, all of your odd, unique little things that you do that is only you, and someone who you don't have to hide them from, someone who can look at you doing those things and go, oh my god, she's so cute, or she's lush, or oh wow, look at her doing that again. And I'm not saying there'll never be any frustration or honest conversations or anything like that, but someone who will love you because of who you are, not despite who you are. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And can I just say thank you so much. You know, I feel really blessed for today's episode. And
you're gonna make me cry, don't.
Oh no, it's been really good for me, and probably very much needed. And I've been sort of dealing with some of that shit away. So yeah, I love you to bits. You're bloody brilliant.
Love you too.
We're so blessed to have you, and you share all this with us. So thank you for everything. And listeners, guys, I hope today wasn't too hard for you. We have had some laughter in amongst the seriousness.
Yes, we have. And can I just say, you know, this episode, we started off, this whole episode was about limiting beliefs. And I guess what we've done today, rather than talking about limiting beliefs, we've literally shown people how limiting beliefs affect our lives and how we feel and what we attract and the way that we live and how we create. So I guess it's been a bit of a demonstration today rather than an explanation. Does that make sense? Is that what we've done?
It does make sense. And I hope everybody appreciates that and thinks that this has been better for their understanding.
Yes, I hope so too. So I'm just having a little look to see what we're actually talking about next time. And oh my god, it's one of my favorite things. Next week we are going to be talking about our spiritual support team. So I'm just going to get all excited. Oh, Helen's getting excited, she's clapping and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This will be good.
So this one is going to be talking about, you know, who is actually with us when we talk about talking to spirit. It's not going to matter about beliefs or religion or anything like that. This is about just, you know, who supports us and who we know of, who we don't know of, and how to connect in with that and develop those relationships a little bit more. So we'll be archangels and ascended masters and guardian angels and the universe itself and ancestors, totem animals, perhaps familiars. Oh, we're going to go everywhere with this.
Exciting. No, that's
exciting.
definitely going to be an upbeat one after this one. So thank you everybody for listening. Rate, like, subscribe, comment. I always forget.
Yes,
comment. Your support and following of us means the world to us. It really, really does. We can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. So wherever you get your podcasts from, make sure you drop us just a little message. Just say hi, and we'll say hi back.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening, and thank you, my darling Helen, for letting me delve into your soul on our, very public podcast. It's not really a platform that is used for opening up one's sense of self so much. So thank you for your honesty, and thank you for sharing. And we love you to pieces. And I am so excited to sit and announce to our listeners that Helen has a date with a gorgeous person who is just wonderful. And it's not going to be long. Now we've had these realizations, I don't think it's going to be long at all.
Well, I'll definitely keep you all posted. So, like with the pink cars, as soon as it happens, well, I'll obviously be messaging Shelley first,
Yes.
going, "You're not going to believe it." And we will keep you posted. So
thank you for listening, my darlings. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.